Hey everybody, welcome back. We are once again here with the Toy Box and we are under construction and working on our subway. I simplified this thing for a number of reasons. Number one, it didn't provide an actual benefit in actually going around an entire track because this part here where it drives through is all you'll ever see it. So that's going to allow me to get rid of a lot of those blocks going on behind here, and that's going to open up some more memory as well. But what we did is we just took 3 cars, put them down, spaced them out on a track. I added some sound effects right here, hid that away. So that basically when the train reaches a certain point, it'll set off the train sound effect, but only at the speakers. So that when you're upstairs doing your battles and things upstairs, you won't be hearing trains that you can't see. So there you go. Other than that, the downstairs part of the build is, for the most part, done. I'm not going to say all the way done, because we still have stuff to do with. Tell you what, let me probably have to go outside the building for this part. Or actually, wait a second while I'm here. So again, all of this stuff we won't need if we're not using it. This was going to be the path I thought I was going to have the subway follow to go all the way around. But again, there was just nothing ever going to happen back here with it. And it's just a lot more work and effort than all that is worth. And for the amount of time it takes it just to complete its normal run, that kind of does what I need it to do. Plug that up in there. So all of this can go away. I like to run as little memory as possible because it just helps the games run smoother. That one now, so I think I will need that to block. Hey, look, there's a train. Up top and forward. Trying to which one to use for this, and that would have been. Nope. Pretty sure that's it. Yep. Okay. So that means we can also get rid of all of this. the rest of those in there, and that'll just keep that all blocked in. Okay, now let's do this. We get to our fantasy terrain. We're going to look for our San Francisco stuff here. We're going to theme each item. Whatever we end up wanting to use, we will. If there's something that doesn't work for us, we just won't use it. So this is going to be something we will definitely be able to use. Probably not so much. I missed it. Oh, there it is. Okay, so now we're going to definitely use this dude. That over there. Let me change up some of these buildings as well. Still got a lot of logic being used up considering. Alright, what we're going to need is a lot of those neon billboards that have the San Francisco thing going on with them. Now I just got to figure out where they're at. Probably in a different box, or group set rather. Nope, never mind. There we go. So not only are we going to be using these up here and around the streets, using them down in the subway tunnels as well. here? Oh, the bike racks. Okay. Really want a lot of neon showing up in this to give it that look and feel that it's not the same city map that we would have just left. One of the reasons I keep all that neon lower to the ground is a lot of times you spend on the ground. Get rid of that thing, it doesn't look to begin with. And I just hate the red brick. Let's see if I can get away. Should have gone the other way. Definitely should have gone. These are the same size, which I think they are. All I've got to do is replace the building. That was already missing. Really? great in this place. see what that's looking like. Moving around. Themed all of the fantasy terrain so we can live in when and wherever we want to for the moment anyway, as long as we're in this build. Now let's get into the subway part. That's what I was wondering. Oh, two-sided sign. Nice. Wow, we gotta really hit this side. That looks a little better. Stairs, see what that's looking like. There we've got our subway. Just missed the train. Dadgummit. Hate when that happens. We didn't hear any of that when we were up top because you guys are doing it straight to the speaker, and only if you're near the speaker will you hear the sound effect. Okay, I think we are about ready to figure out what's next, and what's next is going to be the challenge for this particular box. And what I can tell you about that, I'm not going to give it all away right here, but what I can tell you is going to be an opportunity to put everything together that we've done in the first two boxes. So in the first box you went and found the Cloak of Levitation. Second box, you had a chance to learn how to use it well. And now in this box, we're going to bind that with combat skills. Can I stand on it? Ooh, punched himself in the head. Yeah, I don't think you can stand on this one. Nope. That was pretty close, that last one. I might be able to stand on. Okay, right in that corner. Yeah, might not. Ooh. Alright, so that's not meant to be. Let's go ahead and save this. Okay. What I will do real quickly, though, before we wrap this stream up, let's go into this toy box that I've been using for this particular build, not this Subway set, but the entire Doctor Strange set of toy boxes that are all tied together. And this is where I basically laid out different ideas I had and worked on the logic getting it to work before going back to the toy box and putting it into practical use.
All right, let's get back to work.
So we got some different things laid down here. We went with a 3 pressure plate system here, and what I needed it to do is, of course, all 3 plates have to be pressed down, but more so than that, they had to remain pressed down. So if I were to put this here, see, that's already not working properly. But I have that fixed. Works in the game. What did I get? I'm curious to know why that happened. Let's see if it does it again. So it shouldn't be doing that. Let's figure out what's going on with that. When it's activated. I guess. Yeah. Alright, so I reversed the logic on this, trying something different. Well, let's go ahead and set it up right now, and then you can see the difference. The easiest way to do that is going to be just to start from 0. Actually, I bet, yeah, I was supposed to... What was that? Yep, that was my bad. I forgot to step on this. This would have done it. New logic connection. When it's on... This is closed. And for this particular demonstration, that's all it's going to do. Because their default position is on, and that was what just created the issue. So I need everything closed, and then we go to here. So now when the new logic, when we activate that plate, then it'll open. Same point in time, when we deactivate the plate, it needs to close. Move over here, new logic connection, when it's activated, it'll open. And when it's deactivated, it'll close. So the logic behind this is to make sure that all the plates are being occupied. Let's go where I was at here. New logic connection when deactivated. Closed. I don't even know if I got that right on this one. Let me see. Activated is open. Deactivated is closed. Okay, that should be right then. So the idea is to make sure that all these plates right now, they'll be closed, because this button that I'm about to turn on is going to turn them off. Now, an easier way to do that, if this will work, which it should, is just anytime it's entered by any player, turn it on. So it's on, that means they're all off. Now we got a couple other things we have to connect here. As you can see, there's a repeater that's going off, and the repeater is tied to this particular, I believe, yeah, pressure plate. Now it doesn't really matter which one it's tied to, and you could tie it to all three, you just don't need to, because at the end all three have to be working. Now, since they're all closed now, when I go to put this on there, it won't set off the fireworks, but I also still have to link it all up. So when that button is pressed by the repeater at the end there, it's going to send an input. If that's open, which would mean there would be something holding that down, then it's going to send an output to the next one. And so forth and so on for as many as you have to use. But if any one of them is closed, then the signal won't get through. If that all makes sense. So right now everything is closed because we came through the box, and the box actually set that into motion. The repeater right now is sending a signal, and that signal is to press the button. The button is sending its input here. What the button's really doing is telling the firework cannon to go off. But for it to get there, it has to go through these three things first, and all three of these things have to be happening at the same time. So now, you'll notice this time the fireworks don't go off because these other two are still closed. Now the one thing that I can't show you in this particular setup that I had to use in my other is that right now if I were to step on this, it should set the fireworks off. Wonder why it's not. Let's figure out. Everything is open as it should be. I wonder if that button staying on is creating the issue. I would think it might be. Alright, let's try turning it off now. Let's go back here. Sending a signal in, right? Press the button, goes here, from here, goes here, from here, goes here. I assure you it was working before. Tell you what, let's just load back into this thing, and this time we'll press the button up front. Toy box saves. More importantly, it works in the Doctor Strange castle, so...
Thought they could keep me down.
One thing I do want to see real quick is new logic connection, logic gate on. Yeah, all right. Let's make sure there's nothing turning it back off. Alright, so at this point they're on, so we're just doing the same exact thing, only in reverse. So now as I put this here, but it doesn't make sense. Let me see. Okay, it's not going through. And we go here. Double check here because I think I know what's going on. I just want to make sure I have it the way I now think I have it, because we turned them on when the plate is activated. It'll open, and when it's deactivated, it'll close, which is what we did earlier. Let me just see one more thing back here. Logic gates on. Oh, it's close. Yeah, okay. Is that what we did? I feel like it is. So when gets turned on, it closes the logic gates. And then you open them by placing the pieces on top. It's the exact lineup I had. I wonder what's... I must have done something differently here. Okay. That all said, the signal is going from the repeater to the button out to the first logic gate. If it's open, it'll go to the second. If it's open, it'll go to the third. In doing it this way, and then finally it'll go out to the cannon. In doing it this way, it doesn't matter what order you put things down in, they all three have to be down in order for it to go. Now the problem I was having is if I were to stand here, it'll go off. I didn't want that because putting the three objects on now triggers the next part of the game. And for that, the character had to go to a certain location. So what I needed was a way for the minute you step off of this, that it would be dead. So instead of, hey, banana boat. Yeah, I don't think so, but thank you. The way this would operate in the game is instead of setting off fireworks, it's going to set off a locator or a radar marker and tell you to go to this area. And it's also going to activate a trigger area that I didn't want activated unless you had collected all four objects. So it would allow you to collect three and then just step on it. Now all of a sudden the trigger area is active and that's it. Doesn't matter. So the way it's set up in the game is that as soon as you step, first off there's a counter, and it'll count, let's say in this case, to 3. And then the minute you step back off, it'll deduct it and bring it back down to 2. So you've got to maintain the full count and then be in the marker area at the same time. This is the core of that logic that I put together to make that happen. So the other issue is when I bought the levitation cloak, because it is 1:30 in the morning right now, bananas. I thought this was something that would let you fly, and it doesn't. It lets you glide. Well, I had some plans for this thing flying that I couldn't keep up with once I realized it was a glider. So I had to create a way of flying up. So I took our wind creator and our locator and put it way up top there so that as soon as I go into this area, the wind is kicking. And then the idea of flying is I jump up and I fly. And then with the jump, well, actually, hold on. As long as you're in the center circle, there you go. I overdid it. Let's try it again. And then you land on the floor, hopefully. So up above that, though, is another box that when you enter that, it turns off the wind. So that you don't continue like flying over here and just throughout the room. So you basically created a wind tunnel. And then by jumping up, it's just going to blow you through it. And then that box that I just ran through up there turns it back off again. So that is how I created a flying opportunity for a non-flying character. And still kept within the theme that I was trying for. As long as that machine is blowing, I can go pretty much anywhere and fly. Especially with that. quite sure how to get back down. So that's the reason to have that crash box or the trigger box to turn it off. So if it didn't turn off, you'd just be doing this around the house and the building, and you'd be stuck up in the ceiling. And I'm eventually just gonna, well, I'm gonna have to back out. It won't let me down. So, actually, I think we're gonna wrap up the stream on that. I'm gonna go back and start putting the Subway game together, but gonna kind of keep that a secret for the share play opportunity so people don't know what to do. And like we did earlier today, had an opportunity to do some share play with Midnight Q there, and got the video recorded. I'll edit it up, hopefully get another couple people in there and have them knock around the toy box a little bit, and I'll record theirs and put them all together, and we can see how it went. He had a really good second run, I'll tell you that, in the second segment of the story. So, but in the meantime, this is Old School saying thank you for watching, thank you for commenting, and invite you to join us on the PlayStation Network community, Infinity Ever After, the most growing and active Disney Infinity community on the PlayStation Network by far. Nobody else out there is doing all the stuff we're doing. Come join us, be part of the fun. Old School saying, don't forget that Disney Infinity is the game where the only limitation is your imagination. We'll see you soon. Take care, everybody.